Now, Donald Trump will return to the White House after claiming a stunning U.S. election victory over the Democratic opponent Kamala Harris. And now nobody can be more ecstatic than Elon Musk, who promptly tweeted when trends stabilized. And the future is going to be fantastic, is what he wrote on his Twitter feed. Elon Musk has been a staunch supporter of Donald Trump over the entire campaign season, batting for him on a daily basis on social media platform as well as on the campaign rallies. X, in fact, has been owned by Elon Musk since 2022. He acquired the platform 2 years ago for 44 billion US dollars. And before that, it was Jack Dorsey, who was left-aligned and a force to reckon with when it came to the Democratic Party. Now, his name might sound familiar. The co-founder of Twitter was notorious for having banned Donald Trump from the platform in 2021 after the January 6th US Capitol insurrection. Now, a year after Donald Trump was banned, he has launched his own platform, Truth Social, in February 2022. However, as the social media right versus left war progressed, Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter paved the way for Trump's return. Now, in endorsing Trump, Elon Musk has repeatedly claimed that the old Twitter was a far-left propaganda machine. It seems that Elon Musk's efforts have paid off, and today Donald Trump has also hailed his quote-unquote genius during his victory speech. Listen into what he said.
Did you say? Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks ago, and I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it, it was a beautiful thing to see, and I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No, nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. He's a special guy. He's a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. We have to protect our super genius.
All right. Ambassador Veena Sikri, you heard it, heaping praises on Elon Musk. And of course, just a few days ago, Donald Trump had hinted that there is going to be a special space carved out for Elon Musk if Donald Trump ends up winning the election. And now he calls him a genius. He's dedicated about 7 minutes of his time in that entire speech to Elon Musk and the wonderful work that he has done for the business of the country, for building the American business community. So how do we view this now? Elon Musk, is this now going to be the stepping stone for him to enter into politics and be part of, I don't know, a Senate, or could it be even a possibility that he becomes part of Trump's cabinet?
Yeah, well, I think certainly he has already been promised a cabinet post, I think, and which one, whether it's going to be a new Ministry of Good Governance or we don't know what it is. But I think the role that Elon Musk has played through the X social media handle is certainly a very great illustration of the role of social media, because we saw that the same X social media handle in its previous incarnation at Twitter had actually banned President Trump, and then, as you said, President Trump opened his own social media handle account. But now X has totally changed its stance and has actually been able to garner a lot of support across the board, not only for President Trump, but it's been playing a much more impartial role. I think this illustrates the role of media in any such election, and Elon Musk has certainly been able to play that role through his social media handle very well. We ourselves in India are seeing how a lot of what is defined as the left liberal media has for the last year or so, or maybe even more, taken this very consistently anti-position, anti-India, anti-Prime Minister Modi, and we see that the role of such media, whether it is in the UK, whether it is in the USA, has tried to overcome, has tried to create this impression about that what's happening in India is wrong, it's incorrect. Of course, they have not succeeded, because India, we have our own Prime Minister, he has his own social media handle, we have a big social media machinery.
Right.
We are able to combat it, but the effort is there. So I can see very much how social media can play such a big role and how it needs to be much more widespread. And Elon Musk has provided that and ensured President Trump's victory.
Right, absolutely. I also have with me Anit Bernstein-Reich. She's the president of the Israel-Asia Chamber of Commerce. How do you view at this point of time a possibility, and that's going to be quite a large percentage of a possibility, that Elon Musk could be part of the Donald Trump entourage when he is going to actually be sworn in, and he's going to pick his Secretary of the State. There is going to be the Treasury of the States, and there's several other of these treasuries, several other of these nominations that are going to be picked. Does Elon Musk seem like a man likely to hold the job in the current government that President Trump is going to very soon form?
I mean, Elon Musk did very well in his life. He took small companies and made it big. He is an entrepreneur. So it's good to have in the administration someone with such a track record. Of course, he's very colorful, and we were surprised that he is going to take a position, but it's definitely good to see someone in his scale wanting to go into the administration and really contribute his time and wisdom. So let's see. I'm very optimistic about his abilities, of course, and his contribution and the impact that he will have on the US. And he's definitely out of the box person. So it's nice to see someone which is not a bureaucrat that grew in the White House corridors coming in and making new things. So I don't know how to project, but definitely I think it will make good to US.
Okay. Keith Vaz is the former British Member of Parliament, Minister. He is joining me on the telecast right now. Keith, what's your view? When we saw that Elon Musk was aggressively campaigning for Donald Trump, he had attended one of his rallies as well. That was much talked about. We saw that he was distributing $1 million in his super PAC that had been propagated. There were at this point in time questions also being asked whether that was correct, whether it was possible, and then the court ruling was in favor of Elon Musk. So the positioning over here with regards to what happened when it was, Twitter had been taken over by Elon Musk. It has at this point of time, I don't know, do you perceive right now X to be more right-wing than left-wing?
Well, what is very unusual is the close proximity of a very, very rich man to the President of the United States. If this happened in any other country in the world, people would be questioning, who is this multi-billionaire? He is the richest man in the world. Who is this multi-billionaire who has become such pals with the American president? I have a feeling that after the end of the Trump presidency, and he can only stand, this is his last election, you can only have 2 terms unless you change the constitution, which is unlikely. It may well be that Elon Musk might succeed Trump and might run as president of the United States at the end of 4 years. Who knows? It is an extraordinary state of affairs that the business community is so heavily involved in at that level, where he gets 7 minutes, as you said, 7 minutes in the speech of the president-elect. So long as we don't all have to buy Teslas, I don't have a problem. Or go up in space. But it certainly is a fascinating period in American history. And the people who really benefit from the next 4 years, I think, is probably the media. NewsX is going to be having a lot of stories to tell everyone in the next 4 years. It is a surprise to have someone as wealthy as this.
But is it really? Is it really? Because Donald Trump, an entrepreneur himself, he has always carried forward the torch when it comes to building the economy. That's the brand that he has built. I don't know if he's been able to deliver or not, but the perception of the average American, as at this point of time, the votes have been counted and he's won. It's a blowout. They still perceive Elon Musk to be the man. Elon Musk to be the man who will revive the economy. So an entrepreneur entrepreneur endorsing another one. Maybe the pattern that is being formed in the U.S. elections, when in United States of America, how the governments are formed. You think entrepreneurs have created a niche for themselves?
Well, he has, and there's nothing wrong with candidates spending their own money, and nothing wrong with people getting donations so long as it's all transparent. But what's being suggested is that he will come into the White House, into the administration, and play a part in the way in which the institution operates. Now, that's going to be fascinating because I don't think any of us have seen this before. We've had millionaire presidents before. Kennedy was a multimillionaire. His family was very wealthy in the 1960s. So there's nothing wrong with Trump spending his own money. All I'm saying is it's going to be fascinating.
Right.
And you have these two very dynamic people in the White House together, obviously very good buddies. And I just think it's going to be so amazing, and so amazing for you. I've never experienced this kind of, and I've been in politics for 40 years. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay, absolutely. Raymond Vickery also joining me on the telecast. Raymond Vickery, I want to touch upon the subject of how Twitter was taken over by Elon Musk, renamed X. It was Jack Dorsey who at one point of time Elon Musk ended up calling him building this platform, which is a quote-unquote left-wing propaganda. Do you see a difference in how X operates now versus when it operated under Jack Dorsey? Are you going to call X at this point of time a fair, unbiased, transparent, independent platform, or is it leaning towards the right? There are obviously insinuations that are going to be cast when Elon Musk is working as closely as he is with Donald Trump. Can a platform like X remain unbiased?
Well, thanks very much for having me. It seems to me clear that you have conflicts of interest here, which are extraordinary. The basic business of Elon Musk is with the federal government, whether it be SpaceX, whether it be subsidies for electrical vehicles, whether it be with the satellite communications. And to bring such a person directly into the government and place upon him responsibilities is really reprehensible. The second part of your question about what happens with X and Twitter, it seems to me clear now that the reason Mr. Musk made this investment in the first place was because he wanted to play a role in terms of propaganda for the Trump view of the world. It is the case that there has not been any fact-checking or really restraint on the kinds of conspiracy theories, the kinds of false information which now go out routinely on X since Elon Musk bought Twitter. So this is a grave threat to democracy. Democracy requires an informed citizenship, but it can be manipulated if there are vast amounts of false information which support one side or the other, and that seems to be in the way in which X is trending.
Okay. Okay. Ambassador Veena Sikri, what's your opinion over here? Whether, like you said, if Trump has been propagating the right-wing agenda through X, when Jack Dorsey was the owner of Twitter, wasn't the opposite true?
Well, that's exactly it. I think you've hit the nail on the head, Megha, because when Jack Dorsey was the owner at that time, when he banned President Trump's account, and Jack Dorsey was not fact-checking those aspects which suited his line of thinking, but was fact-checking others and declaring them to be, media false or incorrect. So I think this is a perennial dilemma with the media and the conflict between the ownership of the media and the kind of news that they prefer to propagate, whether it meets with the owner's political predilections or other predilections, his convictions, his ideology or her ideology. So this is a perpetual conflict of media. I've just spoken also about we are seeing this all the time. We are seeing a kind of a perpetual view of the Western media being propagated about India, and papers like The Economist, if I may say so, have been doing that for more than 10 years now. So it's all right. I mean, we don't do anything about it. We talk about it as much as we can, but we can't do anything else except try and tell those people that they have not fact-checked their articles, they have not fact-check the analysis. So, I think that the only answer is to have the media as free as possible and to have media of wide variety like we have in India. I mean, multiple newspapers representing all, segments of opinion, so that anybody interested can always find something to contradict this and another media, and you make up your own mind about which is correct.
Okay.
It's a very major problem of the media, but I think it's a dilemma which will not go away. But we cannot accuse one group of fact-checking and not fact-checking when another group is not doing the same. Now, the owner of one group, in this case Elon Musk, seems to have decided to enter politics directly, but let us wait and see what post he will get or what his role will be in the new administration.
Yeah,
That's
also, an important aspect, Annette Bernstein, that has been raised by Keith was particularly with, and also Raymond Vickery, talking about electric vehicles, satellite communications. Now, Elon Musk, who has, direct stakes in these fields. We talk about Tesla, and Donald Trump has an opposing view when it comes to him focusing on crude oil, when it comes to him focusing not providing subsidies to electric vehicles. So this is in contrast to how Elon Musk is wanting to populate America and the rest of the world with his electric vehicles. You think these leaders, when they come together, there is going to be some sort of a negotiation and a solution found, and perhaps Trump will lean into how Elon Musk wants policies to be formulated?
I think that they don't need to sit. I guess that they already spoke about it. We all know, it's not a secret, Elon Musk interest in electric vehicle. So I guess that if Donald Trump announced that he is going to appoint him, they came to some understanding between them. They will not talk now on the way forward. I mean, it's not a secret that Tesla is Elon Musk. As a businessman, and many businessmen are going into the administration, he'll have to do something about his holding, whether it's on SpaceX or Tesla or his other, as they call it, the boring company. It's not the first time, and Elon Musk will have to put America first, as they say, and not Tesla or SpaceX first. They spoke about it. We'll see it in the next couple of days, what they came up with, and then we will be smarter. That's my take on that.
Yeah, but Annette, it's very easy to say such things and be ideological and idealistic over here, but it's quite another when you have your vested interest, you have your personal and business interest, and how you ensure, and it's difficult to that these interests do not overlap with the interests of the country, the economy of the country, when you become a stakeholder in how the government is run and how the country is run.
Trump, let me remind you, is a big businessman, or was a big businessman before coming into politics. Many of country leaders in Italy and France and so on are business people. So it's not the first time. Of course, not Trump, but Elon Musk is a different person in the magnitude of business that he has. And I agree there is a problem here. I mean, we cannot ignore the problem. But I think that Donald Trump attended to this matter, and it didn't come to him as a surprise. So Elon Musk will have to decide how, or Trump will actually have to decide how he wants to make America great again, whether it will be electric vehicle or we go back to fossil fuel and other old energy sources, which we all agree are not as good to the sustainability and to the well-being of our planet.
Yeah. Okay, Keith. It's very interesting to see the contrast in how Indian politics functions versus America. And here you have politicians, the governments being attacked and chastised for having relations, close associations with entrepreneurs of the country. Versus you have the entrepreneurs themselves who are running the governments, and now you have Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, who is in all likelihood going to become part of the government, notwithstanding his personal interests are going to then overlap with how the government functions on several policies. How do you view why such a contrast, and do you think India has a long way to go?
Well, I don't think there is a contrast. I mean, we're 4 hours into President Trump's term as president-elect, if you like. So we are making a lot of judgments. But Raymond is right. We have to raise these issues generally. Politicians do get on with businessmen. As Annette said, Berlusconi was a multi-billionaire, used his money and his television stations and became the Prime Minister of Italy. And nobody really said very much about it. The fact is, there just needs to be proper scrutiny and proper checks and balances. The worry for me, and I'm afraid I'd switched off my telly for a period, I know that the Republicans have won the Senate. I'm not sure who's won the House, but the best way to guarantee proper scrutiny is that at least one of the branches of the elected government should be in the hands of the other party. Mm-hmm. But America is all about American politics. Let's be honest, is all about business. And if you been to a convention, if you have been involved in politics there, look at the billions that have been spent. Billions have been spent on this election. So you've got to get money. You've got to have money or know people with money if you want to run for president of the United States.
Right.
That goes for any politicians in any country in the world. Very few people can get elected. I'm afraid Mother Teresa would not have been elected as the Prime Minister of India.
No, but then again, it's one thing to be associated with but there's one thing to be associated with businessmen and entrepreneurs. Is quite another to show yourself as an individual, a candidate in the run for prime ministership or parliamentary elections, for example, over here in India, and declaring your assets worth crores and crores of rupees. It sort of is looked down upon. Being more austere is something that is still at this point of time idealized by Indians. All right, coming back to Raymond Vickery. Raymond, do you see us, you've obviously been very critical of Donald Trump and his election and Elon Musk and his X platform. Do you think there is a silver lining to Donald Trump winning the election and then governing the country for the next 4 years?
Well, I'm trying hard to see a silver lining. I think that we could say that one of the silver linings is that we had a fair and full election. Democracy, we may not have liked what the outcome was, but it went forward, and it went forward really almost without a hitch. I do think that it gives an opportunity for reconsideration of matters across the board. Unfortunately, the way in which it has been put forward by former President Trump in his campaign do not indicate that this reassessment will be positive. For example, on economic relations between the United States and India, President Trump, former President Trump, has said that he will impose an across-the-board tariff of from 10 to 20%, trying to build really a fortress America reminiscent of the 1930s when we had a Smoot-Hawley tariff, which cut us off from international trade. That's his policy. It's supposed to be, we can do it ourselves. We don't need India. We don't need anybody else. We can make here in America and be prosperous that way. To me, that's absurd.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. Point made. On that note, I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.